Y'all, have y'all watched this on Netflix yet? They Cloned Tyrone? Bruh, my mind is just like, this is one of those like thought pieces. Like, this gives very much Get Out. This gives very much satire meets thriller meets psychological meets comedy. Like, it's one of those films, and the director here is not Jordan Peele, but it gives Jordan Peele. The director here is Juel Taylor. So you have this film it stars John Boyega, who plays a drug dealer, Jamie Foxx, who plays a pimp. He's actually hilarious. Like, he carries the comedic flair. Between him and Teyonah Parris, they both carry that whole comedic, the comedic sense about it. And Teyonah Parris plays a sex worker. So basically, the movie is centered on this community that's ridden with a lot of poverty, ridden with a lot of drugs, sex work, stuff like that. So basically, they find out that there's this secret like government research program that is cloning black people in that community. They're targeting those black people, and they're doing like research on them. And we know that's like legit. Even though this is a fictitious movie, that is rooted in realism for the black community. They have been running tests and research and all these behavioral research programs on us, our ancestors. This dates back hundreds and hundreds of years, you know what I mean? So this movie has just a lot of those kind of elements, and it also makes you think too, like when you think about impoverished communities that are ridden with the violence and the drugs and stuff like that, it makes you think like how much of that has been manufactured to by the higher ups, right? I mean, go to a nice white neighborhood, you see a real cute Whole Foods, you see a real cute organic vegan shop, you see a real cute Starbucks and all that stuff. Go to the impoverished low income communities where there's a lot of crime and stuff. What do you see? You see a Popeyes on every corner, you see a liquor store on every corner. So it kind of just makes you think that deep. Even though this has a really heavy comedic feel to it, it also has that very complex thought process behind it, and it really does make you think. I think black people should go see this. I think white people should go see this. It is fictitious, but it's not really fictitious. It's kind of more so rooted in what black people have lived in our history since the beginning of time. And I will say one thing that really stuck out to me that has me thinking, there was a saying or a quote that somebody said in this movie. It said, better assimilation than annihilation. And that's kind of like low-key fucking with me a little bit, because I know like for my generation and the generations probably under me, a lot of us are breaking generational trauma. We're trying to break free of living in poverty. We're going to college, we're getting better jobs, we're living in better, safer communities, and we're changing our eating habits. We are shopping at the Whole Foods and the Trader Joe's and going vegan and all these other stuff. So to me, like when I tie it back to this movie, specifically based on that quote, I don't know, it just kind of has me thinking like, to me that means those communities, dangerous, crime ridden sort of communities, it's like they're pitting them against each other so that they can annihilate each other. Do you get what I'm saying? Like they're putting the infrastructure in place to where that community is basically annihilating itself, and then those that want to break generational trauma, that's what we see it as. We are more so assimilating, I guess, but then that makes me think like, okay, is there this bar that's been set by higher ups that say, okay, we'll accept black people, but they need to act more like us. They need to act more like white people. And I'm not saying I believe that, or I'm saying that, but I'm just saying from a theoretical standpoint, like they're setting that bar. So us who are trying to break generational trauma, are we assimilating to that, and then everyone else is annihilating themselves? Like, I don't know. I don't have the answers. I have no idea, but that is the beauty, I think, of this film, is that you can get so deep in it. There's such a deeper, like, socioeconomical impact, racial undertones, systemic racism, oppression. Like, there's so many elements to this, and it just kind of makes you think about those things. So if you haven't seen it yet, I totally think you should watch it. They Cloned Tyrone. It's on Netflix. John Boyega, period. You know, he kills it and everything. Jamie Foxx, you know, Lord bless his soul, I'm so glad he's doing better. He did such a phenomenal job in this. Teyonah Parris is always does her thing. I think she might be from South Carolina too. I think. Let me double check that. But yeah, you guys watch it and let me know what you think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe so you guys can tune in and see what I'm watching next.